lounge of the hall. How's it looking? Maybe slightly bare at the top? Well, if it is, here's our Con with a rather lovely idea.
Absolutely, no tree should be bare at the top. It's a sin. If you want to make a little festive fairy like that one there or these ones here, then listen up and listen good. It's dead easy, it's dead cheap, and all you need to kick off with is an empty plastic bottle like this one here. This had sparkling water, peach flavour I believe, and Simon was drinking it. He finished and donated it. I cut the bottom off and I thought it's time to make a fairy. So once you've done that, pop it to one side. Remember, the taller the bottle, the taller your fairy. You might need to check it out with the dimensions of your tree. Now, once you have put that to one side, you need to rummage around in your sock drawer, see if you can find one of those odd socks that lurk at the bottom. And if you have got one, snip off the foot about this much in length, and then I've stuffed it with a bit of wadding. And next, I'm just going to tie a bit of thread around the neck, and that is so that my little fairy has not only a neck, but a fully functioning chin. So there we go. And it doesn't matter if you've got a long bit of thread, it's quite handy on the end of your knot, because that is actually going to help us secure it to the bottle. So here we go. You next need to thread the head bit through. Oh, my double knot's not working. Oh, there we go. And thread it into that, and then, oh, it's all going really well. And you can pull the string at the bottom and then just secure it to the end with a bit of sticky tape, and that will hold that head in place. So that is exactly what I'm going to do. Just stick it onto the bottle, and there we have a head and a body and a chin and a neck, and we're ready to clothe our fairy, because she's naked right now, and that's too rude to have a nudie fairy at the top of the tree. So you need to get a bit of material or a bit of crepe paper, and it needs to be the width of the bottle length and then the length of about 45 centimetres. We're going to stick it into a tube shape, and you can use some glue stick for this bit because I find that all-purpose glue is too runny for crepe paper, because crepe paper is very floppy and thin. But if you're using material, feel free to use whatever glue you wish. Now next, you need to get your needle and thread out, and we're going to sew a running stitch right away along the top of your tube, like a little hem. You have to be careful though, because you don't want to sew the tube together. You still want it to be a tube like that. And you'll find that once you've done that, the string, when pulled taut, will actually bunch up rather nicely and make a sort of ruffled collar effect. So I'm now going to clothe my fairy. I think she's rude, she wants to be nude, stop it. She's not letting me address her very easily. There we go. And then once you pull that together, we are ready to give our fairy some hair, because she's a bit bald at the moment, and fairies usually have hair. Now for this, you need to cut some bits of wool, and 20 centimetres in length is about right, and you'll need several strands. Thread them through a big-eyed needle, and this next bit is a bit painful. It seems a bit vicious, but trust me, fairy doesn't mind, because she likes having hair. And you just need to pull that wool through the sock. It takes quite a bit of force. There we go. And you'll see that now Fairy has got a bit of hair on her head. Now obviously she looks a bit like an old man or a clown at the moment, but once you put a lot more hair on, she'll start looking a bit more attractive. She's still bald, but all that will be okay in the end. Now Fairy needs a face, so you can either draw it on, or you can get little stickers, and that's exactly what I've got here. I've got two little eyes, and then I'm going to draw on a mouse with some red felt tip pen. Here we go. And then she'll have a nice big smile, and you can add a nose if you want. I'm just going to go for the bare essentials today. She's still bald though, so you might need to cut out a little crown. Now I cut this out from an old Christmas card, just a zigzag shape, and then you just crown our little fairy like that with a bit of sticky tape. And there, she's looking much more attractive already, apart from the fact that I managed to take her eye off. There we go. Now next, Fairy needs some arms. Now, if you've got excess crepe paper when you're making the dress, you need to just cut off a length for the arm, pop a pipe cleaner in the middle and cut out a little hand shape, and then just roll it up and stick it with either some glue or some double-sided sticky tape. And then you need to glue it onto her body or use double-sided sticky tape. And the brilliant thing is, because we're using pipe cleaners, Fairy's arms are fully bendable. How good is that? Now the second arm is here, and once again I'm going to find a little fold to put it into, and there she has got arms. Now next we need to give her wings so she can flutter to the top of the tree. And for that you need to get some see-through plastic. Now I bought some donuts the other day for everyone in the Blue Peter office, and I looked at the packet and I thought that is ideal. You need clear plastic like this and then draw a template of a wing shape and then cut it out. And you can decorate it with some glittery glue or with anything that looks sparkly and pretty, and fold it in the middle because that will help Fairy to fly. And then you need to get some of this long pipe cleaner tinsely stuff that's used for wrapping presents. Wind it around the middle and then wind it around little Fairy's neck. Now this may look like we're strangling her, but we're not, because she wants a pretty collar. Here we go, let's get your hair out of the way. And then that should stay in place. Fairy's arms come off. Let's put that back on. And now we're ready to give her a wand, and that's so that she can do all her magic. So this is dead easy. And just another sparkly pipe cleaner, and then you can pop a star on the top, cut one out, or find one somewhere that you can cut out off some wrapping paper or something, reinforce it with card, and we're ready for the finishing touch, which is just a little bit of hemming. I found this bit of sort of doily material in the bottom of my sewing box. I have a sewing box, of course, because I make all these things on Blue Peter, and so I thought that will do nicely. And there, Fairy is more or less complete. Her wand is ready, and she can do magic. And if you don't believe, watch this. Fairy, magic me home. I think I left my bathroom taps on this morning. Hey, I'm at home, the taps are off, my house isn't flooded, and magic me back into the studio. The powers of magic. Now, you would love her at the top of your tree, I'm sure. Thanks, Fairy.
I'll tell you what, Con, she can go on the top of my tree any